Hello and welcome for today's orientation. Thank you for joining. We know that some of you might be celebrating Eid today. That's why I would like to say to all of the Muslim community and the brothers and sisters who is celebrating Eid Mubarak from Tojtech administration. Thank you for being here today, Omet.
Thank you for having me.
Today's going to be an exciting day. I think we have a lot of things prepared for you guys. Hopefully you're going to get some good information out of this orientation today. Just going through our agenda, what we will be covering today, Omer?
We're going to cover a lot of different topics, right? Especially topics around what do we teach, right? What's the pricing, the scheduling, the syllabus, right? And most importantly, what we are going to be teaching is, what we are going to be talking about is how is the job market? And what is happening right now in the world of AI with all the hype around AI taking jobs and all that stuff?
That's really important to talk about.
We're definitely going to address all of that. So with that,
I think we'll also, if you guys have any questions, there's a Q&A section in the chat that you can see. You can write your questions. We will be covering them throughout the orientation, or we will be covering them after the end of all the slides that we have. Stay tuned. We're going to meet our superstars, Tojtech alumni, who recently got a job, who went through the same orientation as you are today, and they successfully finished it and they got a job. They will be talking about their experience, what they went through. And if you watch all our orientations that are part of our Telegram group, and if you're not part of Telegram group, just please make sure that you join it, because all the conversations happen there. You can see that we have all the time new students. Unfortunately, we cannot bring all of them through the orientation. Otherwise, the orientation might take the whole week to go through. But we try to bring at least 3 each orientation so you can meet them and kind of hear their stories. And with that in mind, we can basically start. Why are you here? What actually brought you maybe to QA? And with that, I think I want to touch base on a topic that why people basically start studying QA with us. Everybody has different story, and there are some stories that resonated with myself, and I've seen there's a pattern of why people coming to QA.
What's your favorite one so far that
I think
really resonated or touched you?
Touched me. I think one of them was that the person. I'm not going to tell the names.
Yeah, no naming.
No naming. Yeah, I don't want to bring the names up. It's their personal story. But what I've heard about some stories were person missing the birthday of his kids because he was always on the road, and the person was a truck driver. He was always on the road, far away from the family, and he wants to get a job that he could be at least closer to the family. Everybody wants to get a remote job. That was the whole point. Like, I want to get a remote job, but unfortunately, we cannot promise a remote job because it could be that you can be in the office nowadays. You can be halfly, partially, or hybrid mode, or you can be fully remote. The person was lucky. He got a remote job. But the most important part was that he wants to be next to his kids. He wants to see how his kids growing up.
I think I know who you were talking about.
No,
I'm not going to name names. I think you're talking about the person that had a family emergency when they were like somewhere in like Colorado or somewhere, right? They live in New York. Like, he had a family emergency and had to like,
he couldn't get on time.
Yeah.
And that actually touched me because I have kids too, right? I cannot imagine being far away from the family, and when something happens, like, you cannot do anything. You cannot get there right on time. Mm-hmm. And this is a problem. I mean, look, job is a job. We have to make money, right? America is not a country where everything is handed to you. You have to earn it. But seeing and understanding that situation, I'm like, what if I would be in that situation? Yeah, money is great, but something happens to your family. You cannot be there on time. And another one was that missing how kids growing up and seeing them, their first steps in time, first words, it also kind of, I don't know, emotionally touched me when they were talking about this story. And when he got a job, I could see that happiness in him. It was, I mean, sometimes when the people get a job, I'm becoming more emotional than them, because seeing how they progress from where they were and where they wanted to be, and when they achieve that goal, it's really life-changing situation.
One that really resonated me the most was not one, like few stories, right, about different girls and different different people that were essentially in a position of where they were either home alone with the kids, right? And they wanted a job and they wanted a remote job, especially a remote job, right? Especially the ones that have little kids, or some of the ladies that we have that are part of our Tojtech community are the ones that really wanted to change their life also, right? In terms of like, I really need to find a job that makes sense. I really want a job that I can actually provide also, or help my husband, help my family and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, the reasons could be different for everybody. Maybe you just want to switch your career into IT, right? That's another big thing. That's exactly what we do here, right? That's we try to help you get there.
The last one I'm going to cover, I think it was a personal punch in the gut. Also, the person who was studying, he said, I've studied back in my home country for like 4 years or 5 years in university for a certain degree. And I came here and I'm doing food delivery.
Oh, yeah.
Is this something that my parents wanted for me? Like, the guy was single, there was no family, nothing there. But that was a punch in the gut for him to start this course as well. To like, hey, look, I came to this country to get something better, to make something better, to achieve something, and make my parents proud. So everybody have their own reasons. So if you're in these courses, I hope you have your reason why you're here. It should not be just, oh, you know what, I want to make money because I see my friend made money out of these courses and they're making good money, good life. Because you have to have another drive just outside of, hey, you know what, I'm gonna get a job. I want to make a job here, right? I get a job, because you have to have an interest and you have to have the drive to go toward the goal, because it's gonna be a hard 4 months.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be
It's
one of
not
those
gonna be
journeys
easy.
that's
Correct.
not going to be easy. I mean, think about it, right? You're going to get into a career in IT, and we essentially give you 5 to 6 years of experience, knowledge, right? That within these 4 months that you're learning.
Correct.
So yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's something that everybody needs to keep in mind.
So yeah, so long hours, limited career growth, and the biggest one is desire for a better future. If you are one of those, right? If you feeling that you have those reasoning within you yourself, welcome. And thank you for joining this orientation, because it's a first step toward your new future, but only if you put the effort toward it. All right, so the next topic that we need to discuss is, I think people have a question, right? I don't have a computer science degree.
Yeah.
Is it too late for me to start these courses? This is all myth. It's impossible. Within 4 months, you can study it all and get a job. How would you answer to them? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions that we have, that we keep hearing about it, right? The biggest thing is, you don't really need a career in, you don't really need a degree in IT. You don't even need to have a diploma. Right now in the tech world, right? We see it. We're in this environment ourselves. We've been within the technology industry for many years now. You don't need a degree. You don't really need to have any special knowledge, right? The purpose of our academy is, we teach you everything from zero, right? And if you don't have any knowledge, prior knowledge, that's actually better, because you don't get confused, right? You don't get into a position where you're like, oh, I actually have no idea what am I supposed to talk about, or what am I supposed to do, right? So that's one of the biggest things that you need to keep in mind. So yeah.
So there's other questions, such as, if I get to QA, is there like still demanding QA, first of all? And the second one is, what's a career path of QA? About the current market situation, I want to touch base at the end when we do a Q&A, because I see already questions like, oh, AI taking the job. Like, yes, we will talk about it, guys. Just please hold on. But about demand and what's a career path in QA? Can you talk about more, like, if they get into IT with the QA help?
Yeah.
Where are they going to go from here?
Yeah, I mean, look, one of the biggest things that you guys need to keep in mind is, once you get into the corporate world, there is a lot of paths that open for you, right? I mean, we can talk about our own personal experience, right? We both are heads of QA, right? Directors of QA, we manage departments. But us as such, right? We've been in the industry for over a decade at this point, right? We have been working for over a decade, but we all started from mid-level jobs, right? We started as There's a term called individual contributor, right? IC for short. But us aside, our own alumni, right? We have people that got into the QA job and then they switched to business side. They became business analysts, they became product managers, they became product owners. We have individuals that switched to development, right? They became developers within their organization into the next organizations. We have people that went on to leadership roles also, right? They started as a mid-level or senior level QA, and then they got promoted to leadership roles, lead QA managers, right? And then senior manager, director. So we have seen a lot. We have some people that switch to data side also, right? So the career growth is almost unlimited, right? It really what you do with your career at that point. There are people that are perfectly happy with the job that they have and they still stay within the job, right? As a QA, and that's perfectly fine because the pay is great, benefits are great, weekends are off, right? I mean, what else do you want?
I decided personally progress from the in QA pathway. So I'm right now head of QA. I started as IC. I kind of decided, you know what, I love what QA represents itself. I believe in QA with my whole heart and guts. That's why I advocate for QA with all my power that I have and influence the organizations that QA is really needed. I've changed a lot of organizations, the quality part also. That's why I decided to go with this path. And now I'm head of QA in an organization that I'm proud of to be at. And I know you're the head of QA as well. So that's why we know what's going on within the QA industry right now. And about the demands, I think we should touch base on it right now about the demands of QA. The market changed, definitely changed from the point of COVID. So we need to divide market timeline into before COVID, during the COVID, and post-COVID. People who were never in the market before COVID, they got influenced, or how you say that word, spoiled. They got spoiled by the COVID period of time where they were hiring left and right everybody. Majority of them lost their jobs during the COVID time, but thank God our alumni, none of them lost their job during the COVID, and they still working in those industries they were at. And now let's go into the post-COVID period where we're hearing about layoffs. We're hearing about job market being tough. Actually, guys, market is not tough. Market went to pre-COVID period where they're hiring only people who have a real knowledge now. They're not just trying to collect employee numbers anymore. They're hiring people who they really need with the projection of, hey, you know what, this is exactly the amount of people we need right now and not just overhire amount of people. So right now, to get a job, you have to have a specific knowledge. You're competing against people who were there during COVID, right, and post-COVID period. And people who are really landing jobs right now are those who really prepared. They know how to be psychologically ready in this current situation in the market. Yes, you're not going to get a job anymore with one interview. You have to go through multiple interviews now. It might not be 1 week anymore, but it's going to take you 3 weeks to get a job. But people are still getting, we have alumni who are still getting a job. The difference is those are who prepared and ready getting a job. If you're doing it alone, of course, it's going to be harder. It's going to be tougher in this market situation. Unless you've been in this business before pre-COVID, then you're completely okay. You know what to expect. So don't listen to those who got spoiled by the COVID period of market. It's still there, the jobs are still there, and it's working out still.
Also, another really important thing to note is that people that are getting hired are the ones that are actually really good at their craft, right?
Yep.
During COVID, everybody was just hiring randomly, right? Meaning, even if you're a mediocre QA, you were being hired. But now only the best of QAs that are getting hired. That's the biggest thing. And that's what we strive for. We want to give you the most up-to-date knowledge, the best piece of information that you need to have so that you can succeed and be better than the rest of the market, basically, right? That's how a lot of our students are getting jobs.
And I've been, even we were telling our students, right? Like we have a specific way of doing stuff, guys. So basically we have 4 months of classes. We're going to go through scheduling and what you're going to learn also. We have a specific syllabus that we prepared. But you guys go through the interviews with us before going to market, meaning that we have to make sure that you are ready for the market. If you fail our interviews, we tell you right away that if you're in the market, you're not going to succeed. Rather you to study again, which means you have the free retakes. You have take them, just take them and be ready. We don't leave you behind unless you decide yourself, you know what, I'm going to go by myself. I don't need your help, guys. We don't leave you behind. We tell you the truth. So we're not just bootcamp that, you know what, we have to finish this 4 months and have to let these guys go to market. And I've seen this situation with other bootcamps. Some bootcamps cost $200, which is still funny for me. You expect to pay 200 and get 100K job. Good luck with that. You can go to those bootcamps and really, you should not be coming to us also. I'm not saying, but 200 and 100K job, 80K job, that return of investment is insane to be true. But a lot of bootcamps, they just let you be after the classes are over. You just go alone into this crazy market world, this ocean filled by sharks, and they want you to succeed. And yeah, out of 100, one will get to the shore, but 99 others are not. We try to make sure that everybody stay on shore. And once we know that you can swim, we'll let you go into the ocean, and we will be next to you around that ocean and sharks and try to protect you. So that's why our students get success, in the market more than others who don't. And people who not ready and decide to go to market, they come back to us and say, you know what, please, can I work with you again, guys, and just help me get to the end point.
Yeah.
And with that in point, what are we going to teach you throughout these 4 months, guys? Look at this list. Umed, I know you love to talk about this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Look, we're not going to bore you and force you to read all of this. What I will tell you, though, is that one thing that you need to understand is that we are going to give you everything that you need to know about the fundamentals of QA, right? You first start with the building blocks of what is QA to begin with, right? Like, how do you understand all the different terminologies and everything? And just like with everything else, right? You first have to, like, you want to read, you first have to know the letters, right? Like, similar approach. When we talk about 0 to 100, that's exactly what we mean. So we teach you from literally the basics of everything. So we start with fundamentals. In addition to that, one of the biggest differentiators that we have within our academy is that you actually get to learn about financial world also, right? The trading applications, how do you test those applications? How are those applications are built, right? And all that stuff, right? So that, which is very important. And then we move on to more and more technical stuff. Once we give you the fundamentals, once we give you the basics of everything, then we are going to give you the technicals, the tools that you will be using, some of the information that you are going to be using throughout your career, like all the databases that you get to work with, the servers that you get to interact with, and also the most important thing, the one that is the most on-demand job these days is the automation engineering. So we're going to teach you programming in addition to everything else that we're talking about, right? You learn how to write programs in Python, right? The programming language, which is one of the most widely used today, how to set up automation frameworks. The biggest thing
that we're going to teach you this time is AI prompt engineering, which is really something, the new vibe coding, right? Or vibe engineering. We will try to give you information on how to use AI properly throughout the course to become a proper prompt engineer, because this is really important thing to know nowadays. It's the same thing as before people used to put in their resumes. I know how to use Google.
Yeah.
Now you need to know how to use AI prompting. So AI is not actually replacing you guys. It has to make it stronger. That's why we are introducing it. And it's going to be throughout the 4 months. It's not going to be just like separate lecture of how to use AI. No, it's going to be throughout the 4 months period of classes. We'll tell you how to use it properly.
We'll tell you how to use it to make you more efficient in your job, to make you be better at your job, because that's what AI tools are supposed to do. They're supposed to help you, not replace you. And that's the biggest misconception these days. And that's exactly what we're going to touch base on in details towards the question and answer, because we've already gotten this question multiple times before the orientation. And already I see some of the questions that are popping up around this. So we're going to discuss this, we promise you. Okay.
All right. And who is going to teach you all of these things? So 4 months period filled by a lot of mentors. You see them on the slide right now. You're going to meet them individually throughout the 4 months period, throughout the interview classes. You're going to meet all of these people. So you can see it's Farouk, Umed, Vinny, Lucas, Nasim, Rustam, and Naeem. Each of these individuals have vast amount of experience in QA industry. So our mentors are not just teachers. They are working professionals in this industry. So they have a morning job, they go and work for corporations and companies, they do QA work, and in the evenings they come and teach you. So meaning our mentors have the last minute information about what's going on in the market, what's going on at the job industry. So you're gonna be learning from real life experience. It's not going to be just book learning of information. It's going to be the lingo that people use in the company, people, the way they act at the companies, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to the interviews, you talk the same language as people who have been interviewing with. So they don't think that you, oh, it's somebody who learned it on internet from the books and came here and started talking, because on the books, it's written one way, but when you go to real world and the real market, it's all different, guys. It's not going to be the same thing, green path way of work that's happening.
Yeah, we really, that's something that we're really proud of, right?
Yeah.
Like every single mentor that is going to be working with you, that you'll be learning from, they're not just the people that have been a QA a long time ago, or they know about QA, right? Or they decided to make up a course, or like kind of like put together a material. These are, every single individual that you see on your screen right now are actually the people every day, their day-to-day life. Some of these individuals that you'll get to meet, right, from the mentors, some of them are like senior automation engineers, some of them are mentors, some of them are directors of QA, right? So all the different levels of QA department, QA org, and different types of roles within the QA world you get to interact with, you get to learn with. So you're learning from the best.
Correct. Oh, at least we hope we are the best. So,
That's true. Yeah.
So with that in mind, I think a majority of people have a question like, oh, today is on Sunday, we have orientation at 12 o'clock. Are the classes going to be at 12 o'clock as well? With that in mind, let's open the scheduling. Jamie, if you can pull up the scheduling to us, please. So if you guys are looking at the screen right now, you can see that we have 4 months of classes, and the classes are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes. The classes are on purpose, first of all, set for 7 p.m. is because, well, first of all, every single mentor is actually working. We've already mentioned this. So we want it to be late in the evening, so after the actual job as well, right? And then the other important part is we have people that are actually working as well, right? Like a lot of you guys are probably working your day-to-day job.
Correct.
A lot of you guys are probably doing something, right? Obviously, we all have to feed our families. So we put it specifically for later in the evening so that everybody can join, right? And then we put out the schedule in advance so that you can plan your 4 month ahead of time, just so that to make sure that you're actually focused, you have your time to be part of the classes and all that stuff. So from 7 p.m., classes typically last anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on the material, depending on what topic we're covering. There are a lot of questions sometimes, right, around some of the material that we cover, because a lot of it is going to be new for you guys. And we want to make sure we answer all the questions so that the classes can go longer, and we don't want it to be way too late in the evening as well. So again, this is what the schedule looks like for the entirety of 4 months. So for those of you that have already actually reached out and said, look, I'm definitely taking, save my spot. First of all, we saved a bunch of the spots already, but just so you know, this is the schedule. But there are times where you can miss a class, right? We all have life. We all have situations in life that happen. So in those cases, you can watch the recording, because every single session that we do gets recorded and gets shared with all the students, and you guys can rewatch it and then ask your questions in the next session or in your group, because there will be group for your batch and everything. So you're not going to be left behind. This is one of the most important parts that we want to put an emphasis on. But that doesn't mean that you should be skipping classes. You should do everything that's possible to not miss classes, please.
And the best part is the class starts tomorrow. I think I kicked something down there. I think it broke, but anyway, the first free week starts tomorrow, guys. Remember, the first week is absolutely free. You don't have to pay a dime or nothing, no strings attached. The job is just join the classes, see if you like it. And the second part is we need to see if we like the way you study. Because the first week, even though if it's free, we need to make sure that you can understand the material. It means everything that we cover, it will be used throughout the 4 months period. It's a building blocks that we are starting with. So if it's a free week, it doesn't mean that the material that we give gonna be wasteful material that you're not gonna need in the further 4 months period. And we will be also asking you questions throughout this whole week of free week, where we need to see how you're responding, how you're talking, because again, as we mentioned at the beginning of this orientation, these 4 months are not gonna be easy. There's a lot of things to study. There's a lot of things to go through. We try to give you 5 and 6 years of information within the 4 months. So we are squeezing that info. So please be ready mentally and physically to be at these classes. And this first week is actually a test for you. And after the free week, we'll be discussing everything with you guys individually. We're gonna be texting you and letting you know if it's okay for you to continue or not. So if you are already willingly you want to continue, please, you can reach to us and we're going to keep you under our eye throughout this first week to see if you're really good or not. At the end of the day, the decision is going to be yours. Our job is to provide you information and consult you that, hey, this is going to be hard. This is what you need to do throughout the whole 4 months. And then you have to make a decision if you want to do it or not. Some people are going to have a bad English. It's not my job to say, no, you cannot come. We will suggest you not to, because I've seen people and experienced myself, they turned around in 4 and 5 months. Some of them retook twice because they have free retakes, and you're going to have a free retake. Let's say if you didn't make it throughout the 4 months, right? You're going to be like, hey, you know what? I need to get ready more. You have another 4 months to take within a new batch. But I've seen people change throughout this 4 and 8 months. So it's all in your hand. Our job is to consult you. Just don't take it super personally, because again, once you start the class, we leave all the egos aside. Our job is to make you the best version of yourself. And please take it as, a good suggestion of change yourself. So again, classes are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Eastern, don't join 7 p.m. in LA and be like, where's everybody? Because everybody's gonna be sleeping already. And it starts tomorrow. We're gonna be creating the free group, and we'll post the link in the Telegram that we have. So if you're not part of our Telegram group, please join it now or today after this orientation, so you have access to the free group link. And with that in mind, you might be asking right now, how much all of this costs? So we are confident in the value of our program, guys, and we want you to experience it firsthand. That's why we came up with flexible payment options. We have 3 options, guys. Before we had only 1. But due to the economy right now, the way the market is, the people, the way they're working around, right? We decided to make it much easier and accessible to all of you. So we came out with the 3 options. Option 1, we call it Shared Success Plan. You pay $8,000 over 5 months period. So you don't have to pay it right away in one shot, lump sum. You pay it throughout the 5 months, which is $1,600 per month. So once we start the class, free week is over, you pay $1,600. And 1 month from the first day of the class is going to be another $16, right? So kind of you follow the schedule. And after getting a job, only after getting a job, you contribute 5% of your annual salary over 4 months period after landing a job. So it kind of secures you not to pay everything up front, and you'll land the job, and now based on that, you're gonna pay the rest of the money depending what your salary is. If your salary is $200K, good for you, good for us, right? It's good for both parties.
Yeah, it actually motivates you, right, to get a higher salary as well. But one thing very important to note is that it's a one-time payment, meaning you only pay 5% once. There are different formats of like different schools and like different boot camps that we know of that they basically charge you lifetime, right? We don't do that. It's just a one-time thing that said, like, once you're done, you're done. Like the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and like 5%, we're just gonna see your salary, right? And we just go, hey, this is the amount of money you have to pay. And again, we give you a month of break, so you kind of get into your shoes of the new job. You know that you're not gonna get fired in 1 month. And then we start collecting payments. But it's only after you get a job. So option 2 that we have, it's called all-inclusive plan. You pay $10,000, which is broken over a 6-month period. It's $1,666 per month. 6 months. Even though the classes, guys, are 4 months, the payments are divided in a way that it's more than that, so you have easier time, not stress about it. And after you get a job, there's no additional payments after you get a job, guys. So meaning you pay once throughout the 6-month period, you get a job, anything you make, it's yours. This option also includes the group support for navigating the job market. So option 1 and option 2, you receive the group support level, meaning we have, once you're in the market, we're going to have a people in the market group. We're going to hold the sessions once in a week, or once or twice in a week, or once in 2 weeks. Depends on how many people we have in the market. And we will be basically sit down together and break down the interviews. We're going to talk about what's going on in the market, how many jobs you're applying. But the information about what's going on and how you should be applying is going to be shared with all of you, of course, because market has a specific secrets, and our alumni and students who are in the market right now using those secrets that other people don't. And that's everything's going to be shared with you, but it's going to be in group format sessions. So we're going to jump into sessions all together, and we start drilling what's going on, who's having problem, what kind of questions you had. We take one interviews from the market from some of you, and we just start breaking it down to all of you, so you know what mistakes you're making. And option 3, it's called premium personalized support. It's cost also $10,000 over 6 months, an additional $10,000 after landing a job. This plan is ideal for those seeking private one-on-one mentorship with tailored guidance on interviews, resumes, and market challenges. This is what was there all along in our Tojtech. It was always private one, right? And now we're bringing this back in a different format. And you will have your own personalized group, 5 or 6 mentors in that group with you. We're going to guide you separately. You're not going to have to wait until once in a week meeting. We're going to be with you all the time when you go to market, and you're going to get our support. And this is private mentorship. That's why it costs the way it costs. We try to make this plan in a way that it's ideal for everyone, looking at everyone's situation at the same time, looking at how we can support all of these different pricing methods and provide you the support we can have. And no matter, guys, which option you choose, we are invested in your success. If you pull up the pricing again, Jamie, just select the plan, guys, that fits your financial situation and the level of support you need. But no matter what you choose, we are here to support you until the end, until you either get a job or until you say, you know what, I cannot do it. Sorry, guys, thank you very much, and etc. But even those people who left before, right, they all came back. Not all, but some of them came back. The doors are always open. As long as you don't burn the bridge, we are here to help you anytime until we're here.
Yeah, and most importantly, doesn't matter what you're choosing, first week is free. So you don't have to think about any of the payment plans until the first week is over. So we still encourage you to join, even if you already know that you're not taking the class, still join it. We're more than happy to teach you anything we know within the first week at least, right? So that you at least get to see a taste. Because we have a lot of people that actually joined us some time ago. They didn't want to take the class, which was totally fine, right? But then they came back again after a batch or 2, right? So feel free to do that. At least you get to learn.
Also, you might join the free week and say, you know what, I cannot do it. I will refer my friend who was interested into it. And guess what? If you refer somebody, you get $1,000 for the person if they take the course, meaning we will break down it into 4 payments, $250 per month while they're studying. And if you are bringing somebody and you coming to courses yourself, it means you get $1,000, your friend gets $1,000 off, and you get $1,000 off. So meaning 1,000, referral bonus. Yeah. So each one of you get $1,000 off. If you want to save also on top of the way we try to make it accessible as possible with this option plan, you still can save more money. Meaning refer somebody and you get $1,000 off from your payment classes, and your friend gets $1,000. So if you choose, let's say, option 1, it's not going to be 8K anymore for you and your friends. It's going to be 7K. If you choose option 2, it's going to be 9K. And third option is also 9K.
Yep. Yep.
So we try to make the best as we can, but the choice at the end is yours. But we all welcome you to join the free week. See if you actually like it, if it's actually for you, even tech is for you, right or not. And with that, I think all of these are informative and great. If I would be on the other side of the screen right now, man, I would be, all of this BS. It's freaking impossible that in the 4 months you can get the job and learn stuff, right? You've been there. You know how it is. It looks like a scam. Let's call it as it is. I'm not scared to say it. And if I would be you, I would be thinking the same way. That's why we invite the real people who got a job, who went through this. And let's meet our success stories. The first person we're going to be talking today with is David. David, hello, my friend.
Hello, Farouk. Hello, Med. How are you guys?
We're doing great. What about yourself?
Same here. Thanks for asking and thanks for the invitation. Just to make sure you guys hearing me well, right?
We're hearing you perfectly, David. Do you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Great presentation. Also, Eid Mubarak to everyone who celebrates today.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Appreciate it. So, David, not to take much of your time, I know you're the busy person right now. You're doing vlogging, right? I think you start
YouTube channel.
Yeah, you have a YouTube
we're
channel now.
By the way,
I'm subscribed. I don't understand anything in Georgian, but I'm happy to see that you can now go to the sport events, that you can go and make videos about sport events, travel around the world, I guess, right? You traveled somewhere during the Euro Cup, right? You traveled. So I'm happy to see where you are right now. You've been one of the exemplary students. I'm not afraid to say that. I was happy to teach you throughout these 4 months. And I was happy to see how you changed throughout these 4 months. I mean, back in this, it was, I think, 3 months, right, with you. But I was really happy to see how you changed. And I remember that tension at one point, like, why am I doing this? But I will let all of this, I will let you talk about all of that stuff. Tell people who are on the other side your story, your journey, and what they need to be prepared for.
Sure. To answer your question, like biggest change I have is like lost 20 pounds, but I'll tell you regarding the QA story. So initially, how I found Tojtech is that my buddy was your student, one of your students. I also won't name the names, but he graduated. He was very successful. He landed a remote job, and fast forward 6 months, I was sitting on an orientation class, just like the new joiners are sitting here right now and attending this class. And I started listening to you guys, and first couple of weeks I made a terrible mistake. I was not rewatching the classes, and I learned that initial fundamentals, some of this stuff might be more complex than others, but initially first couple of weeks I was just understanding everything perfectly well during the classes, and I fall into a trap of I don't need to rewatch these things, right? And eventually, unfortunately or fortunately, I figured out that the cumulative aspect of so many information and so many data that needs to be retained within this short time of 3 months or 4 months requires a lot of dedication, a lot of watching hours, and a lot of time outside these classes as well. And if anyone might take an advice, please start rewatching, start studying right away. Don't wait another week or another day. Um, Also, what I want to say is that when I started rewatching, I quickly realized that I needed even more time to invest into this. And fortunately for me, I picked up the material, I caught up with the material, I passed the interviews with mentors, I went to the job market, and eventually, within a month, I think, on being on a market, like right from the day when I started, when I passed the exams, like the interviews with mentors, I landed a remote job also myself, which allowed me to start my YouTube channel, start traveling in different countries. I traveled in 4 different countries last year. And by the way, I want to use this chance, and I will put my YouTube channel into the chat, and you might be able to subscribe it. And yeah, so all in all, just to say, this is a journey of resilience. And my biggest challenge was, as I mentioned, not rewatching in the beginning, and also when the job market starts, you're gonna realize that the actual classes are the easiest part of this. In terms of, you need to be hyper concentrated, and I'm pretty sure that every single one of you can achieve whatever we achieved as alumni, and you might be the speakers on next orientation classes. So this has been my
Yeah.
experience. If any
David.
of you have any
Oh,
questions, you can put it in the chat, or we have different Telegram channels for alumni, and every single one of us is ready to answer your questions as much as we can, of course.
David, I have one question for you before we let you go. In your previous job, you don't have to say what your job was, obviously, right? Unless you want to. Obviously, again, right? Like no job is bad or anything, right? Everybody.
we'll tell you why we're not naming the jobs, guys, and names of the people. You will get it at the end. We'll explain you everything, why we are trying to keep it secret.
Right. So the one question that I have for you, David, right before we actually let you go, is in your previous job, would that allow you to live a similar life right now? Right? Obviously, you were not remote, right? In your previous job, right? You have a YouTube channel and you're doing so many great things.
And the pay part.
Right. So what's the difference between your previous job and the QA job in the corporate world now?
The biggest difference for myself is that I have a remote job, of course, and also I have a lot more fundamental knowledge in this job simply because I have gone through 3 months of extensive studies and nailed down the fundamentals. So I now have an understanding of the roadmap, what I need to take in terms of make next step, become a lead manager or whatever I want. Maybe I have not decided yet whether I will go to the managerial role or to development, but still I know a roadmap, either or which one I will take. I have an exact roadmap in my mind. But with the previous job, and I was in sales, and sales is terrible job to be dependent unless the economy helps you. So, and also I was not that good in it, turns out, because I was not able to make to the top ranks. So just to answer your question, my previous job did not allow me to have the lifestyle that I have right now, and my current job does. So it's not a speculation, it's a fact that this job allows me to do stuff that the previous job was not.
One last question from my end. How many interviews you had with us before we let you go to market?
One.
It didn't fail, you're saying?
No, there was like 3 rounds of interview with you guys. So first round, second round, third round, which is divided by HR round, the technical round, fundamental round. Very first interview that I had for the HR round, I failed. And that was the blessing in disguise. That was a blessing in disguise for me, because that was the moment when I turned everything upside down, and I made sure that I nailed my second and third interviews on my very first attempts. And this is, I think, a great achievement. So anyone who is up for a challenge, I challenge you to do the same thing with the second and third round of interviews.
Great. Thanks, David, for joining. I appreciate it, and I wish you the best in your career. You know, we're always here to help you. If you have any questions, you know yourself, you can access us at any point, which I think you've done already, right? We talk, we stay friends. And this is the biggest thing is, throughout the 3 or 4 months with you guys, we are mentors. But once you land a job, we become one of the good friends with you, and we're going to try to stay in touch altogether. If you want to stay in touch with us, of course. But that's alumni that we have. It's a great community. And thanks a lot, David. And
Thank you
thanks
all
for helping your friends who you've been bringing over and changing their lives.
Thank you all. Good luck to you, and good luck to new joiners. The changes are soon to come, and you might be on the other side of this orientation soon. Thanks.
Soon. Have a good one, bro.
You as well. Thanks.
All right. The next person we have, Gonja. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys too.
How was everything? Eid Mubarak, by the way?
No.
Do you
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we do hear you. Do you hear us?
Yes, I am. What was the question? I couldn't hear very well.
No, I said Eid Mubarak to you.
Oh no. Yes, Eid Mubarak to you guys who celebrates.
I know who celebrates, right? But Gonja, thank you for joining today. We're really happy to see you. Really happy. And yeah, you want to tell us some stories about yourself? I know you have an interesting also journey with us that you had. Um, I don't want to spoil the beans here, right? And I want you to talk about it. I want you to tell us what you went through and what do you want to warn others before they start.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for the invitation first. My journey started with the suggestions of my friends, the Tojtech, and I studied 3 months, and it was roller coaster journey. I can say it has lots of studying, lots of sleepless nights, and lots of studying. But if you study very well, you pass the internal interviews, and then you come to the market, and then in the market it was good because we have always our mentors help and then feedback, and that was really helpful because I'm a nervous person. Besides the learning the topics and then QA role, they were always with us for the emotional support. I can say sometimes like this journey has lots of up and downs, and through the journey it was good to have the mentor support even emotionally. I remember lots of time I was losing my motivation, but my mentors was there and they were always supporting me, giving my motivation and boosting my confidence. And that also helped me. And then they didn't let me to go down. They didn't let me to quit. And after, interviews, I got my job and I was yelling at the home when I got the offer, of course. And after everything, I landed the job and then I started working. And I'm really happy I did this. I took this journey. And then I'm right now working with the company. I'm happy to work there. Yeah, I can say these ones.
Nice. Gonja, I have a quick question for you actually. When you were studying, I actually remember you mentioned the nervousness and everything, obviously, right? I remember all the internal interviews that were preparing you, right, for all the interviews and all the different interviews that you went through. How was it for you? How does it feel now, right, to be on the other side when you look back? Because obviously when you are studying, it's not an easy journey, obviously, right? But now that you've done it, right, how does it feel to be on the other side?
It is really good, I can say. When you cross to like other side of this course, this journey, it feels really good. After you got your job and then land to job and start working, you forget everything. Like you forget that sleepless nights, what it worth, and then lots of studying, or like sometimes when you feel nervous or anxious, you forget all this, and then you start your new career, and then you start your new life basically, and then it's really good feeling to have this.
Nice. Awesome. We're super happy for you, Gonja. Thank you very much for joining, sharing your story. We're always happy to see you. And
Stay
You
in
too,
touch.
guys.
yeah, stay in touch.
And
Of
enjoy the
course.
nice weather in Florida. I know that you made a big move, right? It was.
Yes.
I remember how we were navigating through
Oh, yeah,
making
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that works out. I remember that, and
Yes.
it's great. It worked out great, amazing. I hope you're enjoying the new
Yeah.
location.
Yes, I am also a remote worker, so after I close my like laptop, I go to a beach and then chase the sunset. It's really
Hey,
good
don't make us
to
jealous, Gonja.
work in.
Stop. Don't make us jealous.
It's really good to like be in there here, and then I'm really happy to with my work and then be here, and I'm really happy I did this journey to with you guys.
And we're
Awesome.
happy that you're one of our alumni now. So we are really proud
I
of you, Gonja. You came a long way. So good luck and stay in touch. And we will talk to you
sure.
again.
Thank you,
Talk
Gonja.
to you
Thank you.
guys later. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Have a good one. All right. So there were our alumni today, and we are open to Q&A section of our orientation. I see some of the questions already lined up here, and the first one I see is about it's a really good name, Samsung SMA226B.
It's a great name.
Great name. So Samsung is asking us, hello, I'm from Uzbekistan. After learning QA, can I work within US market remotely like a freelancer, or should I come to US to work? You want to answer or you want me to?
I can give it a shot. So we're not going to tell you 100% possible, do it, study, and all that stuff. There are multiple reasons for it. The first, foremost, the biggest thing is, one, we don't really know how the remote work works from Uzbekistan to here. Definitely, we have students, our alumni that have studied with us, that have gotten a job, and then they move to other countries, right?
Yep.
Uzbekistan is one of them. We actually have few that actually sit in Uzbekistan and work here.
But they were here.
They were here, correct. They were here, they studied here, they got a job when they were here, and then they moved back, right? Meaning they were authorized to work in the US first.
Correct.
So that's number one thing to remember, right? If you have a green card, if you have a passport, or if you're authorized to work in the US, sure, you can do it. Number two, now it's becoming more and more possible, right? With countries kind of like allowing this remote work, and the companies allowing remote work, and countries having agreements and all that stuff. So we don't really know how the Uzbekistan market works. That's number two. And number three, our pricing is actually for the US, right? It becomes extremely hard for you to study from Uzbekistan. Though we do have success stories of people that have studied from different countries, but they worked in their own countries, right? Tajikistan is a good example. We have European countries. Few of our former students that work in Europe, they lived in Europe, meaning they were authorized to work in Europe. So you could definitely study and get a job within your own market. But is it easy to get a job and work in the US from Uzbekistan? Not really, right? We would be lying if we said, yeah, it's easy, come do it. Like, no, like we're not just trying to take your money. We're being upfront. We're letting you know how it actually works. So that's the most important thing to keep in mind, right? Like, is it possible? Maybe. But should you do it? I'm not too sure about this one, right?
Yeah. I think majority, I mean, we've got this question before. And the biggest reason why people are asking this question is usually about immigrating to United States through the job. I would not suggest you to do that and invest your money if you are outside of US without any work authorizations. It's not a best way to get into US if you're thinking about that. We know that European countries also hire QA, but again, we cannot guarantee you. It's something that you have to research first, how people from your country are getting jobs outside. Look at your own market. Maybe they need some QAs over there, but our specialization is United States, and we know how this market works and operates. We know people outside of this, when they come here, they study here and they get a job here, then they moved out. Yes. So please do your diligence. And also the biggest problem we allowed people to join from other countries, from Central Asian region. We had specific different pricing for them. When they asked us, we gave the same warning to them. The biggest problem they had, and they stopped after 1 month, was the time zone. We had class at 7 and 8 p.m.s, and for them it was early morning. So their brain was like impossible to catch all this information and remember it. So that's another biggest problem of being outside of US. So please think about it. All right, the next question we have is, hello, it's from Elena. Hello, what's the reason you changed starting time from 8 p.m. to 7 p.m.? Is it last decision, or we can change it to 8 p.m.?
I can also attempt to answer this question. The thing is that we used to do it 8 p.m. But
we're switching
even before, right, we used to have it 7 p.m. The reason we're changing back is overwhelming majority of the people are complaining that, hey, like the class is going too late, I have small kids or a family I need to take care of or to put to sleep and all that stuff. And it's becoming really hard for us to be in class and also like put my kid to sleep, right? Or like go do something later in the evening that I need to do before tomorrow work or whatever else, right? So it was getting really late. So one of the biggest things that we pride ourselves on is that we try to adapt and change. It's similar to like how we change the material to make sure we're giving the most up to date and like bring in more mentors and people to get involved. We listen to feedback, right? And a lot of the students asked, please change it to 7 p.m. so that one class is finished, let's say at 9, latest by 10, rather than it finishing at like 11 p.m. or at midnight, and I have to be up at like 4 a.m. to drive or to go somewhere. So 99.9% of the chance that it's going to be 7 p.m. unfortunately.
Yeah. So hopefully this is the time that can work for you. Please reach us again if you have any other questions about timing. But yeah, for now it's 7 p.m. Another question we have, and this question kind of divided into two. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna read the first part, and then I'm gonna read the second part. So please do not remove that question, Jamie, from the list. So the first question is, it's from Dior, right? Do you think having a bachelor's degree, not in computer science, would help getting a job? I can answer it if you want to.
Go for it.
So the way we do it, once you finish, you get 5 years of experience on resume. So that's what makes you to get into the job market as mid-level. Your degree definitely can help in any place. Like it could be not computer science, it could be any degree. It's an additional bonus at this point. But if you don't have a degree, we still have people who got a job. Having in computer science, great, it's even better, right? But your 5 years of experience kind of substitutes the degree that you have. If you're a newbie, let's say you are going as a junior position right out of college, then degree matters, meaning that you need to be in computer science to get in the tech field. But because you worked in this industry for 5 years, and we have our own way to verify that you actually worked here, and that's what after getting a job is, right? Our support to make sure that the resume that you build with us, we can back it up. And that's why you are able to get as a mid-level into this QA job industry. So answer this question. You don't have a degree? Good. You have a degree? Better. You have a computer science degree? Good. Right? So doesn't matter what degree you have. We have people who had degree in different fields, from philosophy to literature. So they are working. Now, the second part of this question is my favorite topic. Do you think AI?
I'm actually
Yes.
not seeing the question, so I mean, you guys can see it. I'm not seeing the question.
Do you think AI might affect the job market in a negative way?
I can attempt to answer this. Feel free to jump in.
We can talk together about this.
Yeah.
My favorite topic.
It's the most hot topic these days. And as we promised, even before in the beginning of presentations, like one of the most important things that we're going to address is the AI, the job market, and everything. Now, there are a couple of things that we need to think about first. Does AI affect the market negatively? The answer is no. But does the AI affect the job market? Absolutely yes, right? What do we mean by this is negative, positive is separate, aside, right? The most important part that it's having an effect on is how people are actually doing their job. If in the past you were expected to, let's say, in the terms of QA, right, or within the technical world, like you were given a task and you're expected to complete it in 1 week. Now with AI tools, right, the company's allowing you to use AI, for example, because not all companies allow you to use AI, by the way. That's like one big topic right now that you guys need to know of. Like not every company allows you to use AI tools. So the biggest thing is, if you were expected in the past to do a task in, let's say, 1 week, right? Now you're probably expected to do it twice as fast, right? 2-3 days, for example, right? You're given a task. So that's something to remember, meaning it definitely affected. So if the companies wanted to do something really fast, they would have like multiple people working on the same thing. But now they would ask like 1 or 2 people rather than asking like 4 people to focus on this task. So AI should be a tool that helps you amplify and enhance your skills. And that's one of the primary drivers that we're going to focus heavily on the AI tools, how to use AI tools to help you in your job and to be better at your job, right? That's like one of our primary goals at the moment as well, because the market is fundamentally shifting and changing, and that's exactly what we need to address on our end as well.
The way I will answer also this question. The way people are seeing AI as a threat. I see it as a tool, as Sumit said. Back in the days, calculator was a revolutionary tool in the job market. Excel was a revolutionary tool in the market. Google and Stack Overflow was revolutionary websites and product in the market. Everybody thought it's a threat. In reality, it was just a tool that helped people to become better. And now, what makes the market interesting is there are two types of people. There are people called vibe coders who don't know anything about programming, about technical world. Those are the people who are at risk. They're not gonna be sustainable in a long time in the market because AI tools, guys, hallucinate a lot. They give you the code that can break your program in a way that you don't even realize. There are even multiple already cases in a real world. If you go and Google about it, vibe coder building the whole portal and then being hacked because AI doesn't know about all security reasons also. The tech world is much bigger than just coding, guys, and just testing. It's a bigger complex ecosystem that has to be taken care of. Yeah, there will be vibe coders who wants to do something quick. AI will definitely make things to be faster. So now we expect to work much efficient and better. It's just extra brain that you have to know how to use. It should not replace your brain. It should be a helper for you. And the moment AI will replace QA, for example, is the moment when products that being built is going to be used by AI only. Because AI, at the end of the day, cannot think as a human. It can pretend to be a human, but it cannot think as a human. And also the products that are being built is not used by AI. It's used by the humans, the one that we should represent in QA, the one we should be testing from, whose perspective we should be testing things for. So yes, AI can help you with documentation to write code faster, but at the end of the day, you should be still using your common sense and how to break it. And don't forget, AI learning the code from the coders who we used to test stuff from. So if we were really important during that time, we are twice important right now because developers at least used to think about proper way of building things one way or another. Now, if you use your AI yourself, right, you can see it just builds you one document. It doesn't know the structure sometimes, and it hallucinates a lot. So it's much more dangerous for the companies just to rely heavily on AI. So problem of the quality will be twice more, in my opinion. I'm betting on this, that right now, yes, the hype, everybody, oh, we're gonna replace, the corporations trying to make it a hype because again, it's a shareholders' money, right? They wanna increase the amount of money being invested by less money being spent. But at the end of the day, it's the same as, we're gonna make everybody work remote. Remember those promises? Nobody has to come back to office. Guess what, after 2 years, Facebook, oh, we need to bring everybody to office. Amazon, bring everybody back to office. It's a hype that everybody trying to jump into. But the problem of the quality gonna be really, really crucial thing in the future. Either that, or we all have to agree that we okay with mediocre stuff and stuff that always break. In this case, yeah, AI will not be taken over. Jamie, you want to say something?
I was just thinking about Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 77, guys. So to answer this question again, Dior, it's not gonna affect negative in a way that there are jobs, right? I think the amount of jobs in a couple of years also will increase, but the skill set, it has to become a skill how to use this tool properly. Not just to generate beautiful Ghibli pictures now, right? Which ChatGPT released, but use it in a way that it can make you faster, better, and smarter.
Another like very important thing to note, guys, is that the AI tools, if it does replace anything, it's going to replace developers first, right? So as QAs, we're somewhat safe, at least for a few years, right? Because a lot of the AI tools are 99% of the time is focused on developing rather than testing. So anything that's being still developed by AI, right, first needs to be tested by humans. And then if the developers are getting replaced, then yeah, we all are screwed. Yeah. So that's what we think.
I think the first people who it's gonna replace, and I think it's what we're seeing, and that's why it's all fear in the market, is junior people. Like, yes, AI can do the job as a junior individual. So that's why if you're out of the college, you're having a bigger problem. That's why it's important for the acceleration boot camps nowadays even more to bring your skill set to the point where you're not a junior anymore, that you can think on a base of the mid-level and have some experience behind your belt to not to be replaced by AI. Yeah, so that's an answer. Don't be scared of AI. AI is not replacing you. AI replacing weak and fake people who try to imitate they have a skills and job understanding and they can do their job. Yes, it definitely replaced those who actually I've been in this experience. We hired one person in one of the companies. It took him like a week to build something. Now AI can help him build it in a couple of days, and that's kind of exposed that, hey, look, it's taking you too long.
Yeah.
And because of the remote position, guys, again, another thing is remote position, people get sometimes comfortable. They take
In
one
pajamas in their bed. during the
exactly, and
meeting.
they're like, I'm not having time to build it, too complex. You have AI now to help you do it. So it's exposing people who used to take these jobs for granted. The whole tech world, not only tech, every industry where it's affecting right now. It's exposing people who were like imposters. So you should not be an imposter, and that's why you gotta be safe. And that's why in the beginning I kind of mentioned you pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID. If you study hard, if you know knowledge, you can back it up, confidence, and you can do it properly, AI will not replace you. AI will excel you. Thank you. All right. I hope we answered this question and the question of AI. We have another question here. It says, do I need to have any device like computer and monitor before I start the class?
Ideally, yes, right? I mean, first of all, computer is a must. You have to have a laptop or a desktop computer, like a machine that you can sit and watch the sessions just like around. You're probably on your phone now or on your computer right now. You're definitely going to need it because you have to see stuff on big screen. You have to take notes and we share the recordings and all this stuff, but still it helps. Down the line, when you start studying the technical part of everything, you are going to be probably needing another device, right? Meaning like another screen, right? That you can attach to your laptop, because you'll be doing actually hands-on coding, like you'll be learning coding. You have to write it. So it would be better and easier for you to have an external monitor. And you can have basically on one screen, you can have the mentor that's teaching you, showing you what to write, because the classes are live, obviously. And then you're typing and you're seeing your code on the other screen. It's not a mandatory thing. It's not a must, but it's a good thing to have.
Also, guys, do not run and try to buy the expensive computer.
Right.
I know like some of you have tendencies like, I'm going to go buy a MacBook Pro to myself. I'm going to be the best coder. Trust me. The device that you have doesn't represent how good you're going to be in coding. It's all advertisements. Don't believe those things. You need a regular computer, not something powerful. If you have a computer right now, it most likely will be enough for you throughout this course. So do not invest into the crazy machine unless you say, hey, I don't have any computers. What kind of laptops I should buy? Then we have Rustam, or we call him Jamie, right? He will suggest you what kind of characteristics of laptops you need. But for the first week, if you have any device, it's great because it's going to be more theoretical month also, right? Just make sure you have a device to join the classes and learn. That's important. But from month 2, it's mandatory to have some sort of device. But make sure to don't join from the phone, please, because presentation, watching them from the phone is not so good. Yeah, but do not invest into any crazy expensive things, please. Please don't do that. All right, the next question is, one second, let me go through it. Okay, do I need any device? Okay, payment part. What kind of payments do you accept? Great question. I think we kind of bypassed that one, right? So the payment options, guys, we accept almost everything. If you're in Brooklyn, New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, if you can drive to Brooklyn or meet with the mentors, we accept cash. We accept Zelle. We accept Venmo. We accept credit card, but credit card has 3.3% fee that merchant charges. We accept cryptocurrencies if you want to. The cryptocurrency price will be determined based on 3 months of how that crypto is doing, and we will determine the price that it's going to be. But this is the payment options that we have: Zelle, Venmo, credit cards, cash, and crypto. Great. I hope it answers the question. And it says, what exactly will you teach regarding AI to elevate QA career? I can answer this if you
Go
don't
for
mind.
it.
So the biggest thing is we will teach how to use AI properly. First, we ask you not to use AI because you need to have a knowledge before you use AI. The biggest issue and the problem nowadays that we see is people replacing their brain with AI. Don't let AI to become another smartphone where you just completely shut off your brain and you don't know what it gives you. You have to know how to verify what AI is actually giving you from your prompt. To do that, you have to have first the knowledge of information to verify, right? To cross-verify if the AI is correct. So what we teach you first is the material, and then we can, during the test case creation, for example, we'll tell you what kind of prompts to give it to give you test case scenarios. Or during the coding and automation, it's going to be the point where we, after the classes, right, we give you homework and we ask you, hey, know how to use AI as well. We give you some prompting. We tell you can drop this one into there, errors and issues that you're facing during the coding that can be used through the AI as well. And everything that can help you when you get a real job. Those are the skills that we will teach you with AI. It's not going to be separate prompt engineering class where we spend like another month to learn how to do it. Because again, remember, not every company allows to use AI because AI is a big security thing. Like big corporations, most of them, they're not going to let you use AI. So we also have to know how not to use AI. Some companies which are open source, they will let you use AI. But in any case, we'll teach you how to use it properly. Again, this is going to be stretched throughout the 4 months, how to use it. Okay? Great, thank you. Do we have any other questions? One second, let me check it out. Devices. Jamie, do you have any questions on your end? Oh yeah, oh, okay, I see it here. Will classes be in English only? Yes. And there's a reason why. Because we're in America, we want you to get a job in America. That's why it is going to be in English. If you speak other languages than English, right, you can reach the mentors who speak your language to talk about some stuff, but we really, really want you to speak in English and get a job because it's gonna, all the interviews that went to in the market are going to be in English.
Yeah, it's not only about you knowing English or classes being on purpose in English. It's also about you being in the job market and being able to answer all the well, first of all, interviews, right? Because those are going to be in English, but it's also about you being able to talk during your meetings, right? During your work with your team, with your engineers, with your product folks, with the heads of your groups and companies and all that stuff, right? We want you to use proper terms, right? You can't be using street language in the corporate world, right? So those are important considerations for you to have, especially when you think about like, oh, like what exactly am I supposed to know, and how am I supposed to know these things?
Yeah, and there's another, okay, questions are pouring right now again. Am I guaranteed to find a job?
I can answer this, and this is one of the things that always comes up. Our policies are very transparent, and we tell you the reality of things. First and foremost, no, we do not guarantee you that you will find a job. But what we do guarantee is we'll give you the top knowledge and the quality education that you can get from us that will help you land a job. Another thing to consider, anybody that promises you a 100% guarantee that you'll get a job, because there are schools and boot camps and acceleration boot camps similar to ours that do promise that. We don't do that because we don't know what the reality is, and we don't know what the job market is going to look like for you and how you're going to be able to do things. As long as you focus and as long as you're able to study, there's a very high chance that you'll be able to get a job.
And another thing is, whoever guarantees you guys something, please run. Do not waste your money. We beg you. Don't come to us because we didn't guarantee you, but make sure you do not run to the companies who guarantee you something, man, because nobody can guarantee you. There's no way to do it. Okay. And I think that's it. No more other questions that we have. And with that in mind, we will be posting today the link on to the free group. Please join it. Join throughout the week, that free week classes. Make sure that you have a Zoom installed on the device and Telegram also installed the same device, because you click on the link, it takes you to the Zoom session. And we will be posting all other rules into the free group week channel in the Telegram. If you're not part of our Telegram group, we're going to be showing right now the barcode and the link. Please make sure to join, because all the conversations happens through Telegram. If you don't have Telegram installed, please install it and join the group if you want to be part of this free week. And with that in mind, we hope to see you all.
Just sorry, one last thing. A lot of you that reached out to us, they said, hey, like it's a holiday, it's Eid, like we're not going to be able to join, or I have some personal stuff that I'm not going to be able to join orientation. Like obviously you're watching the recording now, so it's after the fact now, right? So reach out to us if you have any questions, or if you had a question that you weren't able to ask, obviously because you're not here, reach out to one of the mentors, post it in the main group, more than happy to answer any of your questions. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you all tomorrow and throughout the free week. Happy Eid to those who celebrate. For those who don't,
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, and have the rest great day. Enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good.